Hello everyone and welcome to online school. In this video we're going to be talking about the volume and surface area of spheres. So the really only important thing that you need to write down to be able to do these problems is the volume and surface area formula. The volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed and the surface area is 4 pi r squared. The nice thing about these formulas is that literally the only information that you need is the radius. Once you have the radius, you're good to go. You can plug this into your calculator and you're done. In this first question, I have a sphere has a radius of 8 centimeters, and I want to find its volume and surface area. So if I want to find its volume, all that I'm going to do is do volume equals 4/3 pi, and then my radius is 8, so I'm going to do pi times 8 cubed. When I plug this into my calculator, I get 2048 pi over 3. If I want to leave it in terms of pi, I'd be done there. But if I wanted to leave it as a decimal, this would be about 2144.66 centimeters cubed. And I say centimeters cubed because I'm dealing with volume, so that's cubic units. For surface area, I'm going to do the same thing. But instead, I'm going to do 4 pi 8 squared. Again, when I plug this into my calculator, leaving this in terms of pi, that basically means I'm multiplying everything except for pi. I would get 256 pi. And if I wanted to leave it as a decimal, I would get about 804.25 centimeters squared. Now I'd leave that in units squared because I'm dealing with area. The second kind of problem that you might see is when the radius isn't explicitly given to you. So here we have a sphere that has a diameter of 20 millimeters. Again, I want to find its volume and surface area. The only extra step that you have to do here is notice the fact that, oh, they gave me diameter instead of radius. If my diameter is 20, that means that my radius is 10 millimeters. So if I see a problem like this, all I'm going to do is just change my diameter to radius. I'll circle that to make sure that I use 10 instead of 20. And then my problem's the same as the last problem that I did. So again, for volume, I'm going to type it into my volume formula. So 4/3 pi 10 cubed. And I get 4,000 pi over 3, which is also equal to 4,188.79 millimeters cubed. And to find the surface area, I'm going to do 4 pi 10 squared, and I'll get 400 pi which is equivalent to 1,256.64 millimeters squared. The last problem that you might see is something like this. So here I have a hemisphere that has a radius of 2 centimeters, and I want to find its volume and surface area. So when I'm looking for a hemisphere, instead of doing that full sphere, I only want to take half of it. So when I'm finding the volume, in my last step, when I find the volume, I'm just going to divide that by 2. So now my volume is going to be half of 4/3 pi 2 cubed. When I plug that into my calculator, I get 16 pi over 3, which is equal to 16.76 centimeters cubed. And if I want to find the surface area, I'm going to do half of 4 pi r squared, but I also need to account for that new circle as a side. So that 4 pi r squared counts for everything up here, but I'm going to have to add this. So when I do that, I'm basically going to get 2 pi r squared plus pi r squared. That could just simplify to 3 pi r squared as my new surface area formula for a hemisphere. When I plug in 2 for my radius, I get 12 pi, which simplifies to 37.70 centimeters squared, and I'm done.